right. It's showtime. Hurry, hurry, step right up. Let's start the show. I'm here to let you know. And I feel like I got to say this to all y'all because y'all don't seem to get it. So I'm going to need to put this clearly so everybody will understand. It's your boy Carceno for life. Don't forget to subscribe to this page. You might see a big orange thing pop up, say subscribe. Yeah, do that. Hit the notification bell, select all, and definitely like the video if you like it. Now, a lot of you have had trouble getting notifications. We have been trying everything on our end, exhausting all resources to try to get you the notifications on time. My Carceno for Life Patreon is doing quite well, and they are trying to review a video that you're going to love. So once they approve it and put that out, then, heads will roll. Now, Snoop Double D, Snoop Dogg, the D-O-double-G. So anyway, let's talk about Snoop. I want everybody in the world to do me a favor. Every interviewer, everybody who sit down with Snoop at a radio station, on a podcast, or any old thing. Okay? Here's what I want you to do. Stop asking Snoop Dogg anything that existed in 1992, 95, 96. Anything past 2000, don't even ask Snoop Dogg. Might be later than that. Y'all need to stop. And the reason why is because you guys don't get it. Snoop gets high. Y'all keep asking him about certain events that he was at, and y'all expect Snoop Dogg to know what the hell he talking about. Y'all be like, man, Snoop just lied. Snoop ain't trying to lie. In his brain, that's what it happened. That's how he remember it. And 5 years later, he gonna remember it a whole different way. Yes, subscribe. I see the big orange thing again. Now, Snoop Dogg smokes some of the most potentest weed and has been smoking it for the past 20-some, 30 years of continuous smoking. And you keep asking this man, what happened with Eazy-E? And what when Eazy-E did this? Snoop don't remember damn near a damn thing about it. He just keep trying to remember and telling y'all things that like way off. He's way wrong on a lot of stuff. And y'all keep rolling like, man, what's up with Snoop? Snoop said this happened. Snoop said that. Man, Snoop be high. I be trying to tell y'all, what is one of the side effects of this weed? Huh? Memory loss. Trust me, I have friends that smoke. I have seen it live. This is what they do. This is no mystery. So when y'all be asking Snoop these questions, y'all have to take into consideration that Snoop don't know what the hell he talking about. Especially if you know what happened. Snoop gonna tell you a whole nother story 2, 3, 4 years later. Now, everyone's gonna be singing this praises and saying these phrases over and over again. We all love Snoop. This ain't no hating on Snoop. It's just saying, y'all gotta stop these interviews asking him questions and he giving y'all all these sound bites. And y'all like, man, this ain't accurate, I don't think. Nobody goes and fact checked anything. They just roll with it and then just put it out on the internet. Nobody cares. So Snoop been going around telling a whole bunch of inaccuracies. And that's where a lot of people mess up at, because they try to follow that and use that as their reference point. When Snoop been dead wrong on a lot of things, and it's a lot of stuff that happened that y'all didn't even know about in the death row era that was going on in the streets back in 92. They didn't care back then. They didn't care about your feelings. They didn't care how you felt about it. They didn't care about none of that. You know what they care about? Getting paid. Who were they getting paid off? You. And why were they getting paid? Because it was right there laid out for them to. There was no need for them to change their format. They go continuously do everything that they want to do, and nothing else is going to change. So when you look at the bigger picture, Snoop Dogg is not going to ever change. As long as everyone continue to say the same narrative over and over again, he'll keep remixing it. He'll tell a whole nother story, because no one else seems to change anything. Their opinions never change. Ain't that crazy? You see how the narratives never change? Right? Mm-hmm. Oh, Snoop's gonna say the right thing. Then he gonna say the wrong thing. Then he'll revert back to the right thing. See, guys like that, they play the safe role so long and they play it so well that they've been in this game for so long doing it, it don't even faze them when they do it. I mean, really, if somebody's having a bad day or something and they ask them about a story, they gonna make up a whole new story. Snoop Dogg been doing that for years. He been freestyling forever. He wasn't writing rhymes. Snoop been freestyling forever. Yo, it's the D-O double G. Snoop realized he ain't have to write no more. Cause DOC wrote the album. And then Doggy Style, he basically gave him the format, but shoot, they wrote Doggy Style. So all that other stuff on the Chronic, all that stuff was DOC. All Dre lines back then before Doc shook the spot. G Thing. Dre Day was written by DOC. Well, I look at it like this. How many times Snoop gonna tell you? He don't tell you once about what happened when he was at the Nickelodeon studios. He don't tell you nothing about that when he got jumped and he talked to the police. That story seemed to be forgotten by Snoop. Snoop forgets to tell you how many times he was busted for weed and kept avoiding jail time. Snoop never tells you these stories. Now, this ain't happening. This is not hating on Snoop. This is like actual facts. Like Snoop was caught with pounds, like weed on the bus. I don't know who took the charge. The charge just disappeared. Now, one of the guys had a firearm. Um, he wasn't supposed to be near a firearm or anything like that. It wasn't on Snoop, but he wasn't even supposed to be around people with firearms. All of a sudden, all these things disappear. Now, the question you need to be asking is, why Dr. Dre didn't take you with him to Aftermath and Interscope? Why you didn't go over there? Why you was with Master P? Because he needed a little bit more than what he had. He needed a little bit more. Now, there are a lot of people out there that don't like narratives. They hate them. And I get them. All these what ifs and because you can't control a what if. Everybody got a what if, right? What if this had happened? What if that had happened? What if he did this? So a what if can mean any damn thing. Anybody creates a what if scenario. Okay, if he did this, but what if? But I'm just saying, these are the conversations you would like answers to, right? Why they don't ask Snoop these questions? These are some of the answers you want to know, but Snoop giving you the stuff about everybody else, but he don't really say nothing about him and what he was going through in those days. He tell you a little bit of something and then he dip off. He don't tell you what it was like in those first months of him trying to get off of death row and sign with Master P. And when he linked up with the East Siders and started doing work with them, Snoop had to go all the way. It wasn't no 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You had to be affiliated now. You was blue thing all way, all day now. They got ran down about. Corrupt Dash Snoop. And, you know, it was a blood. He had them dead to rights. You wouldn't have heard you wouldn't have heard no songs from Dog Pound. That dude had to drop on them. He was a blood. He was tired of them talking all this crip talk. He was like, what's up with all that talk? That unnecessary manners. And he had a bank on them, and he had to drop on them. All they did was throw up them hands and say, man, we artists, man. We just make records. We just, around them. That's just our hood. That's our area. But no, we don't be gang banging. No, man, we musicians. And man, he said, well, y'all better stick to making songs, man, and tone that down. Y'all stay up out of this. Y'all know nothing about that. Now, he was letting them know how serious it was, and ever since then, they realized their lives had changed. They couldn't move around like that no more, the way they was. This before Snoop had the incident with the shooting and everything. They was talking DPGC, and man talking, and there's a lot of people listening that wasn't crippin'. You know what I'm saying? So the other side hear it too. And they out there in the streets every night living by it. So they get offended if they hear stuff like that. And they was like, man, I used to rock with dude music. Now he doing this? And he going out like that? All right. You don't get no play on this side. You see, that's why Ice Cube didn't follow that path. He was going on how Easy did it. And that's how Dr. Dre did it. You see, Dre, Snoop, he came in the game because he from Long Beach. That's just how it is. So that was their thing out there in Long Beach. That's a whole different world. So when he came around, that's why Dre, Cube, Easy, they all wore black. Why do you think they think that was just because of NWA? The NWA just wore black. No, they wore black to show, like, look, we ain't finna mess up no money. Bloods buy records too. You don't never hear Easy E talking that Crip stuff on no albums or CDs. When he was rapping, he was just rapping. Now everybody knew who he had affiliation with, but shoot, Easy to work with anybody. Why do you think Cube had more success? And the West Side connection was bigger than the East Siders. Because the East Siders was talking that blue talk. I mean, they had some hits, but you get caught playing that song and dancing to it, and you're going to get laid out and don't even know why. I'm talking Crip to you, baby. The real Crip. You be dancing. Hey, look, I'm Crip walking. Pop, 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 pop. What I do? So you cripping now? And then that's all they need to hear. You see, people in the Midwest get real stupid and they go places and they start thinking like that's the dance. And start trying to do the dance. And I tell you a story flat out. In Cali, you hanging around somebody these are like real bloods. Like it ain't like out here when people be like, yo, man, I'm G. They ain't been in no meeting, they ain't been no govs, they just, cause that's where they from, they just, hey, everybody in my area, G, so yo, we G, I know how to do the handshake. So they call themselves G. So they think it's like that around the globe. No, bro. Some of these dudes did dirt, put in work, and repped the set, had to do some stuff. Like these people live by this. And you don't know them like that. To be sitting there playing around with stuff you don't know. Like some guys are, like everybody ain't on no rambunctious stuff when you see them. Most people are like, hey, watch that, homie. Like, man, yo, you might need to change that shirt. That shirt too loud, man. You ain't from here, are you? See, they tell right away. And they was like, man, hey, you can do what you want. I'm just letting you know because the next guy ain't gonna probably tell you. He ain't gonna tell you nothing. He just gonna start dumping. And it can get crazy. Now, this fool we with, He's sitting there like, yo, man, you blood, man. I'm gonna do watch, I can do that blood walk. Oh, what up? I know the blood walk, watch this. And dude was like, he's like, no, wait a minute, I think that's Crip. I think that's the Crip walk thing I'm doing. You tell me which one you doing. He's like, look, man, if you don't do none, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. Because if you sit here, you do a Crip walk on this set, on this sidewalk, I'm gonna tell you something, blood. You do that on this, you just disrespected this whole thing, and we can't let that ride. So we gonna treat you like we would treat anybody who came over here and disrespected. He was like, man, you for real, man? You man, he was stomp. He looked at him like, man, I ain't the only one that feel that way. Cause once I start stomping you, everybody finna come over and start stomping. Nobody finna ask no questions. And I believed him. And I told him, I said, if I was you, I'd knock that shit off. If I was you, I'd knock that off. Because if you think I'm finna come pull you out the pile when they stomping you down over some stupid stuff you did, you got another thing coming. That's on you. Deja vu, that's on you. Uh, there's a lot of people that make, I would say, bad decisions. Like real bad decisions. And I keep saying to myself, like, is this really a bad idea for people to do? And that's to create these narratives and do these interviews and start talking about old stories. Like Snoop is like a cool dude, but Snoop has did a lot of foul stuff to people back in the day. Snoop didn't tell y'all when he left Badass, the artist Badass, he left him, and it was dirty how they did him. He was like, yeah, homie, wait, hold on. He was like, you know what? You know where the smoke's at over there? He's like, yeah, yeah. Go tell such and such, I need that smoke. Snoop was trying to dip and leave Badass and dip on him. And he damn sure did, man. They pulled off and left Badass. That was dirty. Rest in peace, Badass. It still don't make sense what happened to him in jail. Snoop and what was that? The Dog Pound. They had stole a van in Milwaukee. Got into it trying to buy some weed. They ended up stealing the van. It was all kind of craziness going on. Then Dr. Dre ended up getting shot over some stuff with Jewel. Now Snoop was cool with and he dipped because he was affiliated, but Swoop Dogg and all them, they used to have his back. Swoop G and all them, they used to have his back, and then you know, did what he did, and when he went to No Limit, he became the enemy. And he just dipped out. So it was people that were even dealing with him who was even on the blue side, red side, blue side. Hey, it is what it is. It's like you gotta respect the game, man. So I ain't gonna make this a long video. I just thought I'd give y'all a little clarity as to this. You know, y'all keep asking me, and I'll be like, man, they gotta stop asking Snoop anything. Cause Snoop don't know. He really don't. He gets high, people. Stop asking Snoop Dogg any damn thing. The man smoked too much. He can't remember stuff in 92 and get that right. He gonna be wrong. He'll know about the event because it been talked about for so long. He gonna remember certain things, and there's certain things he ain't gonna remember. And here's mine: Tupac was his bestest friend in the whole wide world. Everybody else know that was not true. So a lot of the things he talking about, he probably 90% wrong. I want to see somebody ask Snoop about that police report he gave when they was asking him questions about Tupac's death and did he think Suge had something to do with it. Why ain't nobody asking Snoop about that? But that's a whole nother story. So anyway, I'm out. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the page. If you want to talk about this on the Patreon, we can. That's the Carceno for Life Patreon. Shouts out to the Star Report, Armando Black TV, Ticket TV. Welcome to HD TV. They trying to mess with his page, man. They doing all kind of goofy stuff. But we don't show them what time it is. We'll give them the smoke. Because they ain't going to be able to stop it. We just going to come back harder. And we out.